Welcome to my week 7 update of Ramsay Hunt Syndrome. As a way of an intro, a couple things to talk about. I'm driving a little bit further. I'm walking better. Had another eye checkup and a procedure. Did a little hearing test using an app. I got some thoughts on gratitude. So let's talk about some good news as a physical update. I've started driving further. Before this week, I was driving like 10-15 minutes to medical appointments. I had a situation with the family where me and my wife had to divide and conquer and was able to go 30 minutes. So that's been good. I've been able to go further and further. It hasn't been too bad. I am a little bit tired when I drive longer distances. I'm getting more endurance. Another update, I only used my cane once this last week. My balance is getting better. My vertigo, while still there, is becoming more manageable. Somebody was saying, how are you doing it? I was like, I think I'm just being more deliberate and being able to adjust, the brain adjusts. I still feel a little bit off balance at times, but I'm able to handle it, and that's awesome. I had another eye checkup on my bad eye this week. I've been using a moisture chamber for as long as I've had it, and been doing a lot of drops, using some refresh drops and a gel. When I saw my ophthalmologist 2 weeks ago, he didn't see damage, but he was concerned. Went back in, hadn't gotten any worse, but still dry. So we decided to do what's called a punctal plug, also known as a tear duct plug. This was pretty crazy. He got these little tweezers out, kind of tweezer-like contraptions. I don't know if they were really tweezers. He's using a microscope to get this silicone plug out of the packaging. And then I had to put my face forward into like this little that halo device when you get your face checked. And he puts this plug in the tear duct down here, and then he tried to do it in the upper one. Wasn't able to get in the upper one. It wasn't too bad, but it's a little freaky when you got a dude with some sort of like device trying to stick a plug into your tear duct. So the idea of that is it will prevent the draining of the tears and should create more moisture in the eye. So I got that done. We'll check in another 2 weeks, see how the eye is doing, because I don't want to go blind. If you can't tell, I got my first haircut. That was a little bit of chore. Here's a little video where I talk about it. All right, gonna go get my first haircut in like 3 months because of the Ramsay Hunt Syndrome. The first probably month and a half, I was just too sick to get out. The last couple weeks I've been trying to figure out how to do my eye. So I'm gonna patch it up so they can cut my hair and not get hair in my eye. All right, I lubricated, taped, and patched the eye. Let's go see how the haircut goes. All right, first haircut since getting Ramsay Hunt was a success. I'm reminded how much I hate patching, partly because the bad eye just does not want to stay closed. Even if I tape it down, it still likes to open when the good eye is open. So I much prefer using the moisture chamber, but it's good to have a fresh haircut. Bad news update. No updates. This was a pretty good week. I really didn't have anything negative that happened. Let's talk about the status quo. I still have very bad tinnitus and hearing loss. And because my ear is healed up from the sores of the shingles, I decided I'm going to do a hearing test using some AirPods. The AirPods send a tone. First it did it in my good ear, and I could hear it. Then it switched. Interesting, when I switched, I heard all this kind of fuzzy noise in the good ear, which I didn't hear in the other ear. I heard one tone, but according to the app that I was using, I'm still deaf. Or I had zero hearing. It was like, something's wrong. I was like, yeah, no kidding. I can't hear. I'm going back to the ear, nose, throat doctor this week. We're going to do an actual hearing test, and we'll see where I'm at. I've continued to do acupuncture and drink some yucky Chinese herbs. I've seen improvement in the vertigo. Haven't really seen improvement in the facial palsy, but I'll take it. I'm still tired from all the things. If I go really hard, I went to a football game of my daughter's. Pretty worn out after that game. I'm getting more strength and energy, but I still wear out easily. Fortunately, I am still sleeping well, and that's much appreciated, with the occasional less than ideal night. All right, let's do our weekly palsy check. So let's start by raising the eyebrow. Doesn't seem to be moving. Close the eyes. Nope. Puff the cheeks. Nope. Smile. And whistle. So again, I do not feel like I'm having any movement in my paralyzed sides of my face yet. What I've learned from others that have this is Not uncommon, but it would be nice to get at least a little movement. From a work perspective, I'm still working about 5 hours a day, which is awesome. I haven't been able to kind of go higher than that. Part of it is I'm going to medical appointments of one type or another 4 out of 5 days, and I have a feeling that it's going to go higher. And I only have so much energy, so I have to pace it. But it's really feels good to engage and be productive. I am grateful to be able to have a job that I can do from home behind a computer, and that's awesome. Emotionally, progress feels good. It's interesting. Somebody asked how I'm doing. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're doing better." And I'm like, on one hand, yes, I am making a lot of improvement. If you go back and look at some videos from a couple weeks ago, it's pretty rough. So on a relative basis, I'm doing a lot better. On an absolute basis, I got a long ways to go to get back where I was before this illness. But I'm happy for the wins and the successes. So I feel really great with the progress I've been able to make little by little. I'm feeling grateful. And I was thinking, like, why is gratitude so powerful? Paul, the apostle in Thessalonians 5:18 said, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." There's something powerful about gratitude, especially when things aren't going well. And I just feel a lot of gratitude for the kindness of friends, for the kindness of strangers. I'm grateful for the progress I've been able to make. I'm grateful for what I'm able to do so far. And I feel like there's a lot of power in gratitude. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I have. Want to get better. Feel like there's a long ways to go, but I'm grateful for what I have, what I've experienced, for all that I've learned through this experience. So that wraps up this week's update. Subscribe to this channel so you can get more updates like this. Ask me a question in the comments and I'm happy to answer what I've experienced. I look forward to talking to you again.